Hi. So I added a new section to my journal that I've been really enjoying. I use a journal every morning. It's a pretty involved routine because, sometimes I'm journaling for like an hour. The journaling is very formulaic. So there's a section for the dreams that I remember from the night, and that can be really long. Like I'm looking at this entry from today, and I just have a lot of dreams. And so it takes a while to write them all down. And at first, when I started doing this, I thought maybe this is a waste of time because it is really time consuming. But what I discovered is that I understand the dreams better as I write them down. Like there's certain symbols and metaphors that come up in a dream that I don't really understand initially. But as I'm writing it out, the meaning becomes clear. And I'm getting a lot of good understanding about myself and growth from my dreams. And also the simple fact of writing them down makes it so that I remember even more. My dreams are just super detailed, super meaningful, and I think that's partially because I pay attention to them and I record them. Of course, maybe it would be less time consuming to just do it in a voice recorder, but there's something about writing. I'm writing out with an Apple Pencil longhand, and I think it forces my brain to slow down and process as I'm writing, and it just does something different inside of my brain. So dreams, the next section is stuff that I'm grateful for, and I'll just list out whatever comes to mind. Then I write a section about what today looks like, if it's the best day. So like today's Wednesday. And I'll talk about it in the past tense. Wednesday was awesome. I had an awesome morning workout. I made some videos. I reached out to my old childhood friend and said hello. I got a lot of bookings for my business on Wednesday. I felt productive. I got a lot of chores done. Whatever like a good day would look like. And it's just sort of visioning what would today look like if it was really, really good. And I think that it helps me to have a better day. And then sometimes if I feel like it, I'll do that for the entire month. January was great. I accomplished this and this and this. I had growth in this area. Whatever that looks like for you. So the next section that I added really recently is what was the delightful surprise of the day? The reason I started doing that is because when I was doing the daily visioning, like the Wednesday, I took out the garbage. It was a productive day. I made really healthy choices, blah, blah, blah. I'll also throw in there, Wednesday held a delightful surprise that brought joy and abundance. So I'm just planting this little seed in my mind that there was a delightful surprise on Wednesday. And then at the end of the day, I check back in, what was the delightful surprise? So I'm basically just suggesting it to myself. Something really cool is going to happen today. And so then every evening I go back into my journal and I think back on my day, what was the delightful surprise? And I could be having like a really low energy day and maybe not be in the best mood. But if I look back at my day, there was a delightful surprise pretty much every day. Some of them are really big and really profound, and some of them are just, some little thing that like, oh yeah, that was delightful. So like a couple days ago, I didn't really feel very good, but I remembered to do this delightful surprise thing at the end of the day, maybe like 5 or 6 o'clock. So I was like, oh yeah, what was the delightful surprise? And I found one, even on a day when I didn't feel that good. And so for that day, it was this artist that I discovered, Steven Wilson Jr. So it was just some Facebook post that I saw, this artist I had never heard of. I think a lot of people have heard about him because he was pretty big in 2023. Anyway, his name's Steven Wilson Jr. And I was curious by the article that I read. So I put him on Spotify and gave it a listen. And that was my delightful surprise of the day. I love this new artist. He has this 22-song debut album that is really, really good. It can be something just that simple. That was the delightful surprise. On other days, it's much more delightful. I recently got a surprise inheritance. That was sort of a big delightful surprise. So I think this new journal section that's in the rotation, I'm going to stick with it because it's delightful.